What's up, guys? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince, and I'm here to give you my 10 favorite moments on Raw history. Again, continuing the trend of the 25th anniversary of Raw coming soon. I'm now gonna do the best moments of Raw. It doesn't really have to be a match; it could just be a standalone moment. As far as matches go, I know people are asking what are the top matches of Raw. I'm getting to that one at the end. It will be the last one. This is the second to last one, so it will be coming soon. But these are some of my favorite moments in Raw history. I remember watching them; they were fun, or just the nostalgia of just everything that happened around this time. Um, Here are some honorable mentions, the ones that didn't quite make the list just yet. Um, John Cena and Roman Reigns, their contract signing from August 28, 2017. Vince buying WCW from March 21st, 2001. Daniel Bryan occupying Raw with a bunch of fans occupying the ring from March 10, 2014. Jeff Hardy's epic Swanton Bomb to Randy Orton from January 14, 2008. Brock Lesnar returning the night after WrestleMania 28 from April 2nd, 2012. Mark Henry's retirement speech. Remember that one? That was from June 17, 2013. The night of the draft, I believe, when John Cena became the first draft pick for Monday Night Raw. That took place June 6, 2005. The Festival of Friendship with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens from February 13, 2007. Didn't quite make it. The live sex celebration didn't make it, but it was a great moment, and it was a funny moment with Ric Flair getting his ass kicked and John Cena FUing Lita from January 9, 2006. And the one that almost made it, but I couldn't quite put it up there, was Shawn Michaels' farewell speech from March 29, 2010. Didn't quite make it. It was a great speech from one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But that's going to be it. Let's move on to the actual top 10 list. But number 10 for me, Eric Bischoff runs Raw. When he comes out, Vince McMahon announces the new GM being Eric Bischoff. People were shocked. This took place on July 15, 2002. It was just what the hell moment. It was like, what? Eric Bischoff, Mr. WCW running Raw? And it ended up being one of the best things that WWE has ever done in a long ass time, and it was a great moment, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, it was just one of the best moments in Raw history for me. Number 9, Vince McMahon at the hospital from Raw, October 5th, 1998. At the time, Undertaker and Kane, the Brothers of Destruction, they threw the steel steps on Vince McMahon's foot, so he was out for the most part. And then the night of Raw, Vince McMahon spends most of the time on the hospital. Mick Foley comes and reads to him, and Vince McMahon, being the grumpy son of a bitch that he was at the time, he's like, "Get out, get out." But nothing could top the time when Stone Cold Steve Austin just came in, dressed as a doctor, beats the crap out of Vince. That moment he hits the pamphlet, it was like, doom. It was just funny. Just an overall, just great moment, great time, and it just shows that the Stone Cold Vince McMahon rivalry is in fact the greatest rivalry of all time. It was just funny, and it was serious at the time, so it just worked overall. It was awesome. I enjoyed that moment a lot. Number 8 for me, I was 12 when this happened, but number 8 for me was CM Punk's Pipe Bomb from June 27, 2011. This moment was, I remember being young, just hearing all this stuff like, wow, CM Punk is just going all above, talking about Hulk Hogan and Brock Lesnar. Maybe he leaves to New Japan and ROH. How he wishes the company did different things. And it was just the perfect way of someone just saying, I'm just tired of WWE screwing with me. I want to make a change, and nothing's gonna change until I take the WWE Championship and defend it somewhere else. He goes above and he actually gets suspended, but he does come back just to hype up the match even more. It was just overall the perfect promo, just in the sense of this is when people grew up and realized, yeah, CM Punk is right. When are we gonna stop seeing John Cena at the top? When are we gonna see? At the time they had the likes of Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, and those guys. So he was just sticking up for the little guys, and it was just overall an awesome promo. Number 7 for me was a moment that no one talks about anymore, but it took place January 4th, 2010. The Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels reunion. This was wow. Now I know Bret Hart is currently not in good talks with WWE ever since they mocked the Montreal Screwjob. But this moment was great. Bret Hart just comes, he talks to Shawn Michaels, they talk man to man, they stop the BS and they man up and hug it out and realize, yeah, we done screwed up. Yeah, it was a great touching moment. It's something you would never expect to happen. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels hugging it out. It was great. Now, I don't know how they feel about each other now, but I mean, the fact that they even had this moment, because I doubt Bret Hart would come back if he would have to do this moment, but it was a great moment, and it was big time in 2010. And at the time, fun fact, TNA was trying to compete with Monday Night Raw, doing like a mini Monday Night Wars, but that ended up tanking easily. And it just took this moment to tank it, so that makes the moment even bigger. Number 6 happened on the same day, different year, also January 4th, but this time 1999. Mick Foley winning the WWF Championship. I already talked about this moment so many times, so I'll just go really brief with it. Mick Foley winning the WWF Championship was the greatest moment of Mick Foley's career, easily. The finger poke of doom was dumb, but that led to, people realizing we're tired of WCW, let's watch WWF Raw. And yeah, it was a great moment during the Monday Night Wars. And this moment was spoiled, and people still went to go watch it. That is how over Mick Foley was. That is why this moment was great, and it was one of the best. Shockingly, it didn't make my top 5 considering how many times I've talked about it. But these other 5 moments were just more epic for me. Number 5 for me was the beer truck. This is the debut of Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer truck. Took place March 22nd, 1999, just continuing their feud. Stone Cold comes with a beer truck. He gets everybody in that ring, and Vince McMahon trying to swim out of it. It was just funny and just brutal, and basically just shows Stone Cold didn't give a crap about anybody, and it was just a great moment. One of the most must-see. When you think of Raw, you think of Stone Cold, and you think of the stuff he did with Vince McMahon, and one of the things that gets me is, of course, the beer truck. Great moment. Just a fun moment, and just overall enjoyed it. Number 4 for me also happened in the Attitude Era. From April 27th, 1998. DX invading WCW Nitro. At this point, it was time for Raw to compete with WCW. So Triple H forms DX, X-Pac, the New Age Outlaws, and Chyna, who apparently people won't name anymore, but she was a big part of DX no matter what they say. And they basically drive off to invade WCW. They're like, come on, where's Kevin Nash and Scott Hall? Funny enough, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks did something similar. So it was just showing that, this is how you knew that WWF is staying in business for good, because, with stuff like this, it was just great. And DX interacting with the fans was a lot of fun, so that's an even bigger bonus for me. So that was just a great moment, and one of the best moments of Raw history. Number 3, Stone Cold stuns Vince McMahon. From September 22nd, 1997. this was the beginning of their feud, basically. Vince is asking him to vacate the belt, and then Stone Cold's like, "You can kiss my ass," and stuns Vince McMahon for the first time. And if you believe it or not, I actually said this is the greatest episode of Monday Night Raw, and this was what made people talk about this episode still to this day. And you know, it was the first of many times that Stone Cold stuns Vince McMahon, and it was just a great moment, and it was just from the best episode of Raw for me. And I enjoyed it. It was a great moment for me. Number 2, Ric Flair's retirement speech from April 31st, 2008. Now, Ric Flair hasn't retired. Afterwards, he went to TNA for whatever the reason was. But yeah, Ric Flair's crying, just missing everything. And you don't do a perfect retirement than this. Bringing in the 4 Horsemen, bringing in Evolution, bringing in The Undertaker, bringing in everybody that had a good relationship with Ric Flair. You know, Ric crying, but it was just a big moment, and I thought this was the perfect moment for Ric Flair. From one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Woo! And yeah, you can't take this away from them. And the reason why this didn't make number 1, because it was more of a moment that just makes you just like be thinking to yourself like, wow, this guy did great. Overall, my number 1 moment, and because I haven't brought it up, you guys probably already guessed it. This was a moment that was just fun and just creative and overall just really fun. From September 27th, 1999, the People's Champ The Rock in the This Is Your Life segment with Mankind. Mankind is trying to make The Rock happy, and then he brings in The Rock's cooking teacher. He tells her to fuck off. He brings The Rock's first Hollywood his first high school sweetheart, his coach. He brings in all these people that turns out that The Rock actually was never cool with. And it's the most viewed segment of all time. I mean, people try to recreate it. I mean, I remember one time they did Mick Foley, This Is Your Life, similar to that. And it was funny, but it can't be as great as this one. They did Bailey, This Is Your Life, which is the worst segment of all time. But yeah, this segment was the best segment of all time. It was just funny and people enjoy it a lot. This Is Your Life, The Rock. This is just fun. Just classic humor, classic entertainment. You can't get bigger than this. This is just a lot of fun. And thankfully they had The Rock and Mick Foley, 2 very charismatic guys, just making this segment work. Because honestly, if they let most of these guys talk, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they were actors or anything, it felt real too. But yeah, this is my favorite moment from Raw history. Next top 10, I'm going to do the 10 best Raw matches, and that will conclude it all. I will review the Raw 25th anniversary, so get excited for that. I'm reviewing Raw for once. Yay. But yeah, that's going to be it. It's me, the ALE XX Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and until then, I'm out.